Good evening, everyone. We are back with Tier 4 for the new season, Season 10, starting at Saudi Arabia, and I'm joined today with Harry Palmer. Hello, Harry. How are we feeling? What do you think is going to happen today? Yeah, Tier 4 is always a really interesting tier because it often has quite a variety of pace, with it being back to being the lowest tier again from dropping from Tier 5 last season due to the lack of reserves. It was sort of at the end of last season, Tier 4 started to struggle, as you would have experience with being in Tier 4 last season yourself. Yeah, it sounds about right for Murphy, budging off what I saw last season. But he seems to have decent pace this year. I saw the few murmurs about him being put into Tier 3, but they eventually decided on just on the cusp of Tier 4, I think it was. We've got a lot of people coming out quite early. People are interested in getting a lap in early. I'm doubting there'll be any rain with it being Saudi Arabia. There's something like a 2% chance or something, if that. Yeah, of course. I'm sure the Discord will always keep us up to date with what will be happening. Who have we got at the front here? Who's going to be starting a lap first? I'll get on with him. Can't even see him. Oh, there he is, yep. Get the telemetry up. Yeah, so it's going to be, I think it's an interesting one here, because there's a few that were in Tier 4 last season that have stayed in this one. Like Wuban was in Tier 4 last season, I think, along with, I think Maze was Tier 5, AFL was Tier 5. MKP was Tier 3 back when I first joined on F122. I think Phantom Nug was Tier 4. Was Phantom Nug Tier 4 last season? Okay. As Mace heads into turn 1 here, he takes a lot of curb, which is important. Avoiding curb on turn 2 exit to get maximum traction, coming through, cutting the corner there, maximising track limits because it's a white line, not the curbs, the curb painted on curves. Takes a good line through there, manages to take as much as possible without hitting the wall. It's a very tricky technical section going through here. He needs to make sure he doesn't take too much curb or I'll go straight on. It's a solid first sector there, probably up there, I would say. It's a 33.2. That's not too bad compared to Tier 3, which had a 33.0, I think, in the first sector. Going through sector 2, they're getting close to the walls, maximising the pace. Needs to get close to the wall here to get the good exit. Minimises curb again to get traction with the DRS zone coming up. Well, that's impressive, to be fair. Sorry I was not there. My controller died, so I was having to get my headphones back in. That's Yeah, it seems like it's going to be quite a close midfield. Phantom Nug with quite a comfortable time ahead of everyone else. Wuban goes P2 with a 29.0, still upwards of 6 tenths off as Ghost Angel 1 is coming up to line now in the AlphaTauri. Can he rival his teammate in P2, Mighty Baguette, with a 28.7? He was with a 31.3, so there's probably a mistake in there, but he's got plenty of time to go again. Weird. I'll have a look. Where's Huntsman? There he is. Looks to be going again now. I think Victor Mean backed out of his lap and he's going again because he's far off and he's gone slow through there. He's got 100% ERS, so he's fully charged. Have a chance to rival the top 5 here. So far it's Phantom Nug, Mighty Baguette and Wuban with the top 3. Phantom Nug's quite far ahead here by around about 3/10, 2.5 tenths between Mighty Baguette in second. With the Ferrari teammate Curly in P7 with a 1.2 second gap to his teammate. Duncan. Yeah, it's better than a collision, to be fair, better than impeding a lap. Mhm. Yeah, I had one of those last season where I got a quali ban for slowing down at the end. Proper unfortunate, but we moved. That's why I'm going to have a quali ban on Thursday, but I'll be last anyway. Oh, yellows. Oh. That is something. To be fair, I don't think he has to do it this race. I think he can do it a race later because I got the option to. But I'm not 100% on that. It would make sense. Victor Mean with a very solid lap there, going P3, just 2/10 off with Cammy. I didn't even notice that, gone P2, just 200ths off Phantom Bug. Now those top 3 seem very competitive. They might be getting not far off in 4th. That is a good lap. And they'll be timing that as well from having low ERS. He'll get a lot of time on that final straight on his next lap. So he could be in a very strong position to take pole position in this first race here. Look, don't think anyone's on a lap at the moment. Oh, no, AFL's on a lap. AFL goes into turn 1. Doesn't take much curb and takes curb on the exit. That'll sacrifice a little bit of time on exit, but not much. It'll be minimal. Gets as close to the wall as he can there, maximising the pace. Drops to 4th. Quickly back up to 5th. I'll go on TV pod to get a better angle with it. Completely flat out through this section, the very technical part of the track. Lifts off, manages to... Oh, he takes a bit extra to curb there, which will unsettle the car. Maybe lost him a couple of hundredths. But if I could see without... I need to go and do not disturb soon. On my PlayStation, but... It looks like a solid start from AFL, probably somewhere in the midfield. There's someone else on the lap as well. Tomo tip top. I didn't see what his first sector was, but it didn't look too bad from what I got to see. Yeah, that's pretty solid from what I've seen so far. AFL in the 101.2s in the middle sector. Onto the long straight. Just get as close to the wall as possible to minimise how much you have to drive. Coming down to the final corner here, unlike Phantom Nug, he'll have plenty of ERS to burn on the final straight. Gets as close to the wall as he can without touching the curb. Needs to get the DRS open as quickly as he can. Goes right as tight as he can to avoid without invalidating. Goes P6, a solid lap time there with a 28.8. That'll be rivaling the top 5 come the end. Tomo tipped off. He'll be coming towards the end of his lap now with a 29.8. Puts in P13, solid in the midfield there. I think we have the Red Bull of Cavolis, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Harry. Yeah. Cavolis. Basically the same thing. Chat's saying I can't hear you, Harry, apparently.
I am the biggest bottle I've ever seen. I didn't have my voice on share.
Oh my god.
And I was just saying Chimp will get disqualified as Chimp gets disqualified.
Well, that's convenient. At least that means... Well, he might have to still do another quali ban for setting a lap, but at least it's right for the grid. Well, at least everyone can hear you now. Oh, there'll have been so many moments where it was just completely silent.
Yeah, that's...
Oh well.
Oh well.
It's CRL
yeah,
for
back
a reason.
to what I was saying. Just 8 minutes left of the session now. As drivers leaving again, there's a few of them out on laps, there's a few of them starting laps. Cami being one of them, just heading into the final sector now. Right behind Spider Rob, I believe. Yes, they're both on out lap. And Cami's keeping it very close to Rob, which could be an interesting tactic for Dirty Air. Not seen that one used before, but oh well.
Noticed that.
Yeah, very, very close.
Yeah, that could compromise his lap here, depending on the pace of the both of them. Because if Cami has more pace than Spider Rob, he's going to get held up on his lap.
I mean, it's not reportable because he's done this.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do.
On purpose.
But
And
this
he's
is going to
right
compromise
on
Cami's
Spider
lap.
Rob's gearbox here.
It's going to compromise both laps because Cami will probably go for an overtake.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets it on a straight or something, where he'll have the toe as well. Stays in 5th gear, which is I haven't seen yet. It's a rookie mistake here from Cami.
Cami's not a rookie as well. That's the concerning thing. He's been in CRL.
He's gone wide anyway. That'll be invalid probably. No, he's kept it. He's kept it valid.
He's got to back out of this.
He's still 8,000s up on his time.
He needs to back out.
I'd just wait and go again if I were him.
No, and
yeah, he has.
There we go.
Backed out. We're out on board with Spider Rob then. He's half a tenth up in the first sector. We're currently in P10, slap bang in the middle. Can he improve on his time? It's a very small window between the 8th, 9th and 10th, with just 1,000 between P9 and P10 being Maze and Spider. Or loses the rear a little bit. Spider there will lose a bit of time out of that, but he can still find some time in this final corner with the 36 ERS, so that won't be a problem. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with his lap time. It doesn't seem to be, with someone just slowing down. Drops to 3rd, gets on the power nice and early. Almost touches the wall. That might lose a bit of time because he had to lift off slightly. Looks like he's boxing. Yeah, he's abandoning the lap.
Maze on the lap. Just coming into the final sector now. Sector fastest sector 2 is 9 tenths up on his lap. That's that'll put him pole if he manages to keep this going. But yeah, around the penultimate straight. Sorry. His ERS is running quite high compared to what I've seen before. Yeah, just coming into the final corner now. Does he touch the wall? No, he keeps it very, very wide out of there. DRS open now, and then up to the line. Is he going to go pole? No, he doesn't. 4 tenths off a Phantom Nug.
Loses a lot of time in that final sector. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself there because he went wide on the exit of the start of sector 3 and on the exit of the last corner in sector 2. On the entrance, sorry, in sector 2, and then went slightly wide. So there's a lot of time in there for Maze. He could still pull it out of the bag. So he's got 5 minutes left to get back into the pits and chuck on a fresh set of soft tyres.
I'll be honest. I think Moto, as Pancake retires in the pits, I believe. Is it? Yeah.
I'll see if he has a quali ban.
No, he doesn't. I don't think.
Oh. Maybe he doesn't want to get. Maybe he doesn't want to get caught up in the carnage of turn 1 at Saudi Arabia. I won't blame him.
It's one of the difficult start-finish straights, especially starting a lap. As yeah, I think I'll be honest. I think any driver could get pole here. It's I know there's a gap of 1.5 seconds between P1 and P16, but Warrior Huntsman is one of the faster drivers. I wouldn't expect him to be that far down.
I'm sure we've got a lap in him yet.
There's a few drivers left that can go a lot quicker. Obviously, I've seen a few drivers' laps. I've seen Rob in practice looking very promising. And yeah, there's a few drivers who have come back from being very high in the constructors. You've got AFL 3 or 4 seasons ago, who's 7th, which is surprising if I'm honest. I expect him to be higher up, but he's still on another lap now, so it's not too late to regain time or even potentially pole position as he goes wide.
He's gone too far wide. It doesn't say he's invalidated the lap.
He needs to back out of this, otherwise it's.
I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that if he doesn't.
If he goes faster, he's gonna have to he'll get penalised for this.
Yeah, probably if he goes faster. I mean, preliminarily, I can never say that word. Preliminarily, yeah, he's going out anyway. How do you say that word?
Preliminary.
Preliminary. See, this guy's just so smart.
Well, anyway, AFL's not set his lap. He's coming to the pit lane, which is good. I've seen a few people keep it pinned for the rest of the lap because I'm not sure why actually. But there's 3 minutes left of the session now. I'm expecting all the drivers to be coming in or even starting to leave now.
We've got Tomo Tip Top who's on a lap. He's 4.5 tenths up, so we could see a competitive time here from him.
An interesting time.
Almost touches the wall on exit, but he's going to go up to the line here. DRS wide open. He's going to set a 28.7, puts in P6. That's a solid lap from the Alpine. Puts him right in there with the middle.
Just looking at his fuel off his steering wheel, if I'm right, he should be able to get round and go again. It's just the issue being tyres. They're not. I think anything more than your outlap and your actual lap, your tyres aren't. You're not going to be able to set anything competitive. There's more yellows. In sector 1.
Alright.
Just coming into turn 3, I believe. MKP's on his lap now. Let's see what time he can do in sector 1. Keeps it very close to the walls. Keeps it pinned, very close to being pinned, sorry. Shifting down to 5th. He's got a car in front of him. I'm not sure who that is. But he set a 32.9, which is half a tenth slower than his first lap. Which could be interesting. Yeah, there's just a few cars obviously on outlaps. No one's in the pit lane, which is promising. I think anyone's up to get this pole position.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's a close bunch. MKP, even though he was half a tenth down, it was still a competitive first sector with a 32.9. Half a tenth, you can find that in one corner. You can find more than that. As he's almost 2.5 tenths up there. So, despite that dodgy first sector on his point of view, he's still got a chance here to. If he keeps that 2 tenths, he'll be looking at probably P8. Hopefully, he can get an improvement here on the final sector. Gets very close to the wall there on entrance and exit, which will maximise his time. He's going to get the DRS open as soon as he can. He's going to be up to the line here. MKP will go P3. That's a really good final sector from him, but preliminary. I got it this time. P3. There will be a lot of drivers that are going to improve on their time. So for now, he's P3, but will he stay there? As Victor Mean, he said he was 7.5 tenths up. This is going to be a very good lap time if that was true. He's on the final corner now, DRS open. Victor Mean in the Alfa Romeo, can he takes provisional pole with a 27.9. First driver to dip into the 27. That's a really solid lap from Victor Mean. That could guarantee him pole position here. But as I say, there'll be a lot of people on lap still, with Mays over 4.5 tenths up, which in the first sector, I believe. Oh no, that was on his previous lap, because he's still in sector 1, so that can't be right. See if there's anyone else.
Cracking down now. Yeah, Victor Mean. That's a crazy lap from Victor Mean, I think. He's a tier 4 pace, which is incredible. I'm not sure compared to tier 3, but from tier 4, just looking at tier 4 times compared to the rest of the field, it's very, very competitive. And if that's the case, then it could be a good season.
Completely agree. Obviously there'll be if he keeps it that high up all the time, there will be the talks of moving him up. But so far from Victor Mean, it's a really solid start from him. On board with Mays at the moment, who was looked to be on a decent lap. He'll be doing everything he can to try and take this pole position away from Victor Mean. He's going through the final sector now. Is there anything he can do? Fanta Mug and Cammy both finished their qualifying, so Victor Mean's 2 main competitors are not going to take this pole position away from him. May's coming through the final sectors now. It's going to be an improvement, I think, because I didn't see any mistakes in that final sector. He's P7 now. Can he improve on that? He's going to go P2. That's a good lap.
Wilburn
stacked it.
Span it into the wall.
Oof.
That was a big crash. I just caught the back end of that, but that was a big crash for Wilburn. He's out of qualifying, which I think he was one of the ones. I mean, like I said before, anyone could take it, but Wilburn was one of the ones that I was.
I think Trofer's the last one, but nope. Trofer P17. He can't get any higher than he was before, and that looks to be qualifying, I think. with Victor Mean
Yeah, it
taking
is.
pole in the Alfa Romeo on this first race in the Tier 4 Season 10 season here at Jeddah, with a very solid lap time, but May's not far behind, exactly half a tenth difference, with then a 3/10 from second to third with Phantom Dog in P3 in the Ferrari, Cami P4 with a 28.5, with a competitive time not only a couple of tenths away from a podium place in the race. MKP in the Mercedes P5 with a very close time to Cami, with that's the top five. I think it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a two-horse race, but obviously it's Jeddah. Anything could happen. Both of the top two could be in a wall after the first lap. With the
True. I mean, it's a tight turn one, especially for multiple cars. But Victor Mean P1 links directly to what I'm about to say. The stats, the predictions, the most OP team to be Chimp and Victor Mean to put it on pole. That's very promising for the Alfa Romeo drivers.
Yeah, it's a good look for him. A good look for Victor Mean. He'll be absolutely delighted with his pole position here. But if you look, less than a second in the top 12, so it's going to be an interesting race. If you look from P7 to P12, it's only 2/10, so that midfield battle could be really interesting. And then below that, you've got a few people that couldn't string a lap together, with the likes of Trofer, Warrior Huntsman, who'll probably be disappointed with what they've, like Warrior Huntsman especially, because as you said, I'm sure he was hoping to be up there with the best. But if we're looking at like the CRL stats that we're looking at, it says BX37 Pro. Did he show up in the end? Because I know we were waiting for him.
No, he's not showed up.
Yeah,
So
he's taken attendance and decided not to show up, but
he's
that
got a
won't
no
help
show.
his chances. But yeah, that's qualifying over. We see the Alfa Romeo on pole position, and he'll be looking to convert that into the race win. Well, I believe formation laps have returned. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, it is. Just a quick question for you.
hmm
What's the recommended strategy, do you reckon, for Tier 4? I know it
I
changes depending on pace.
think it's a medium soft. I think it's. I mean, there'll probably be a few looking to go for the hards just so they can push for as long as they can, but I'm pretty sure soft, medium, medium soft will be the way to go. But
It's
obviously, there'll be safety cars that'll affect that, and driver mistakes, etc. I'm sure there'll be a lot of those with the harshness of this track. But if we're going off a perfectly clean race, soft, medium, medium soft, I think is the way to go.
yeah. The I'm just curious to see who's going to start on softs. There's obviously a
hmm
few drivers that will start on softs with the extra pace at the start, and towards the end when they're on the old dire mediums and there's drivers paying for fresh softs, it's gonna it's gonna throw them a bit of reality. Would be the
hmm
best way to say it. When the pace on the old mediums isn't as strong as fresh softs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the race director here, and it looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 drivers starting on the hard tyres, with just the three on the soft and the rest on mediums. So that will a split strategy here. That'll be interesting to see how the pack shuffles up, with Victor Mean on pole starting on the hard tyres. Mays will be looking to get a better getaway there, being on the softer compounded tyres. With Matty Baguette will be wanting to clear the pack as quickly as he can, being the first driver on soft compound tyres.
Yeah, the obviously the lights out formation lap. Here we go. The first formation lap, I think, since 2 seasons.
I think so,
We didn't
yeah.
have it
I
last
think there
season.
was like 1 or 2 at the start of last season, but obviously there were the glitches that made people
Yeah,
disqualify right at the start.
the I think EA needs to fix it a little bit. The
Yeah.
not being able to use formation laps a bit concerning when it comes to a game that you have formation laps.
Yeah. But
Uh, there's a few gaps starting to form on the formation lap. I'm not sure if someone's spun or if someone's just slowing down to warm up, but
just
yeah.
the McLaren of Duncan slowed down slightly, but the rest of the field looks to have slowed down now anyway. And a bit behind as well. Looks to be in, was it Alpine? That's slowed down. Yeah, the Alpine are trophies. But everyone's slowing down at this corner anyway, so there's no real way to slow down too much because of the amount of high-speed corners, obviously, in a formation. You're not going to be taking it at high speed, so no one will. So it'll just regroup the pack back together.
Yeah, only 2 drivers starting on soft. I was expecting more. I weren't expecting the hard to come into play, if I'm honest. But it is what it is. And yeah, we'll see. I
Oh,
mean, the strategy could be a medium hard or a hard medium. It's just that compared to last season, obviously pace differences, tier differences. Tier 5, obviously, no longer a thing. But again, that's why the drivers have kind of merged together, will be the best way to put it.
I just got the possible race strategies popped up on my screen here. It says medium hard's the optimal strategy to go for, but with the two drivers starting on softs, obviously they can't do that, so a split strategy will be interesting to see because it'll bunch the pack up and mix them up and see where we end up. Obviously safety cars, I'm sure both the soft runners will be hoping for a safety car relatively early on so they can get a quick change of tyres. But safety cars could have a big game to play in here in this race.
I'll let you take away the lights out.
Yeah, will do.
As you can see the camera.
There's still quite two of the top three have both screwed up their starts.
Yeah, but notice that one. That means I think that's half a metre back, if I'm correct.
It's quite a bit, especially being on the hard tyres. That'll be difficult for Victor Mean to get back.
As Ghost Angel 1 gets disqualified, and Warrior Huntsman, and
a lot of them at the back.
And Topher.
All of them at the back. only Chimp that hasn't.
Chimp. Is he gonna?
Just about.
Okay, he's not been involved,
Right.
I'll let you take it away.
Taking them off. These lights come out. So 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are underway for season 10 here in TRL season 4. Oh, someone's binned it straight away. Ghost Angel's binned it straight away, and it's straight to a virtual safety car. It's carnage at turn 1. A lot of penalties. Might even get with a 5-second, and Victor Mean drops the P3 and gets a 3-second penalty. It's an instant virtual safety car. I'm pretty sure Ghost Angel binned it off the start. I tried to flick back, but I didn't quite get to see it. Did you see what happened, Harry?
No, I just saw I saw Ghost Angel 1, sideways at the line. I'm not sure if he just spun it or. I mean, he's got no front wing now.
Yeah, he's lost traction off the start or something.
Yeah, Topher, Ghost Angel 1 don't have a front wing, which is a bit concerning.
We've still got all 19 drivers, which is a plus, which often doesn't happen at this track, but there's a few penalties as well. Might have got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, which, I mean, he could get it removed, but he'll serve it under safety car anyway, or under whenever he's in the pits. But we're back underway, green flag running here. Cammy is not far off Phantom Nug here, looking to get a better traction on the Ferrari, and they come close to touching there as the sister teams getting close together here. Cammy's looking for a move down the inside here. Not a good idea to overtake, I don't think. They get close to touching as well. Cammy goes a little deep, preventing him from a chance to overtake. Looking a bit further back, looks like Chimp's got a move done. Said plus minus.
Just watching the cars fly by. Turley's managed to get wing damage. I think he got picked up in that incident as well at the start. He's got only minor, he's lost an end plate, but that could be crucial around a track like this. Obviously high downforce is key. Sector 1, if you've got high downforce, it's flat and it gives you the advantage. And I don't think Turley's pitting, no he's not.
Spider gets a move done on AFL there, it looks like. There was a lovely move from Wuban around the outside of AFL, I think it was.
Oh,
Victor Mean's out. Means out after the pole position. He bins it at turn 2, I think that is, or exit of turn 2. That's heartbreaking for Victor Mean after taking pole on lap 2, losing out and just losing the car. That's horrible for the Alfa Romeo driver. As the bottom 2 get a chance to pit, as the safety car came out before they passed the line. So that's good for the bottom 2, but that's such a shame for Victor Mean after looking so strong in qualifying.
We've seen last to first. I think this is probably one of the first to last I've actually ever seen. In the space of 2 laps, he's gone from pole position to now, well, currently P17, but
completely out the race. Yeah, that'll be him. He'll be gutted there. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself for so early on, probably trying to push too much, trying to get the best traction he can, and just losing it on exit. Well, Cammy will be pleased with how his start is, apart from the 3-second penalty, which was it a 3-second?
Well,
I can check the race director.
It's 5 seconds, but
5 seconds. You'll be able to
in the Discord that it was an illegal overtake to someone that's never been in front of him.
That's weird, but there's nothing they can do about it because obviously, no matter what happens, he'll serve it in the pits.
Yeah, I've noticed that. As the strategies have changed to a soft medium, this is the in-game soft medium or a medium hard, which are very completely different strategies, but I mean, the game is the game, so
Yeah,
I mean, it is
maybe
what it
that's
is.
been influenced by the safety car, where obviously there'll be less tyre wear because they're not going as fast. That gives them more of a window for strategies, make it more varied.
Just a few things. I'm surprised Baguette and Rubin haven't pit. Obviously, being on soft is
Hmm.
a bit confusing. I would have thought they pit for hards or mediums, because they've not gained that much compared to the other drivers before. I know there's been a VSC and a safety car, but again, at that point, if you don't get the start, I think the race is it's not over. It's never over, but it's possible that the race is not going to be as what they expected. Would be the best
Yeah,
way
it's
to
going to be
say
more
it.
of an uphill battle for them.
Yeah.
With them,
Uh, just looking at position changes as well. Chimp up 5 positions. That's
very
with
solid start there from
a
him, starting
lack
from
of
19th place. Obviously, one of those overtakes, well, overtakes, quote unquote, was on his teammate who's obviously stacked it in a wall. But it's nonetheless a very good start for him. I'm looking, most of the drivers have gone up positions. Only Mays has gone down one, Baguette and AFL have stayed the same. And there's Curly who's lost 4 positions and Angel who binned it off right off the start, put it right in the
well,
wall, but he's still going here in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Obviously, lap 3 of 25 at this track, you can still win the race. It's such a varied track where there's so much that's going to happen.
I mean, the setup differences could be crazy. I know there's a few corners where you can take it flat no matter. Obviously, the second sector is mostly flat, depending on your setup. But low downforce around here, not low, but a bit higher than bounds would be interesting. Give you the
Yeah.
straight line speed, but then through the corners you've got the people who are taking sector one very close to flat. It's it changes a lot for your setup. It changes the race a whole lot more than you expect.
Yeah, it's setups decide a race for a lot of drivers. As if they've put on the wrong setup, they're going to struggle because obviously having no straight line speed, it's going to be difficult to overtake. But then having the too much downforce, you just won't be able to have the pace in the corners and the high speed corners by having the car not having that downforce. They'll just struggle to make time up in the first sector mainly. The first sector's high downforce. The middle and final sector have quite a bit of straights. But I think my setup was 30-23, so I'm guessing it's anywhere between 35 and 20 wings, I would say.
I'm
And
surprised you remember yourself.
I,
I
I,
can't
I,
remember
remember,
what
I
I
only
was
remember
running.
because I was looking at it earlier. I was doing some practice, and that's the only thing I remember out of it.
You
But
sweat.
yeah,
I can tell you're in tier one now.
just about.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Under safety car conditions, if you just joined us, lap 4, Victor Mean stuck it on pole, and now he's out, which is interesting.
As I said before, I'm sure he'll be absolutely gutted with that. But it's race one of a long season, so he's got so much time to come back from it. I'm sure he'll be he'll be chomping at the bit to get back into it next Monday and at Hungary, I think it is. I'm sure he'll be practicing quite quickly on. I know I would be if I had a bad race like this after having such a good start. Which, as if anyone's seen how my races go, it happens quite a lot where I start on pole and I'm dead after 2 laps. But I'm sure he'll bounce back, being probably one of the favourites at the championship this season.
I think safety car's going to be in this lap now. All the drivers have caught up. It's been more than it's going to be the second lap, which means it should be in
It will
as
be.
it is. It's departing. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
The lights are out when the safety car's left. Yeah, it's going to be
He's getting on with it,
very
can he?
interesting.
He's
I think
slowed
he
right
needs
down
to
now.
slow down.
Yeah, because he'll get the delta if he goes before the safety car.
I'm going to
But,
keep an eye on his speed as well because there has been a rule. This was introduced last season, but the rule change is that you cannot go below. Is it 30, 50? One of the two.
one of the two, but
So
doesn't look like he's going near that. He's at 100. He's at
no,
105 at the moment. But
I think
catching a few of
he's
them off
flat at
guard.
some
But
points.
that'll be an odd one because if they're already going fast, if Cammy catches them off guard, it won't make as much of a difference. Obviously, he'll be trying to go at a time that is an inconvenience to Phantom Nug behind him, which obviously will then create a knock-on
No,
effect. But he's gone quite early and he's
no,
got almost a second gap. It looks like.
safety car's staying out because he caught up that much.
The safety car
Safety
stayed
car's had to
out.
stay out.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get
The
penalised for
light,
that.
yeah, the lights went green to say to catch up, which meant that Cammy had actually
Gone that far
dropped off.
back. It made the
He
safety car stay out
dropped
another
off
lap.
He's dropped off the safety car way too early in sector 2,
Mm-hmm.
expecting it to come in, and
he's made it stay out an extra lap.
Yeah, because his delta's been not right. It's put the safety car back out for another lap.
I'm sure the stewards will have something to say about
that. It's an interesting tactic to keep in safety
whether it was
car
accidental or on purpose. I think he'll get penalised for that, in my opinion.
Right. I'm just going to check.
What's that?
Duncan's put in the chat the lobby glitched because of the safety car, but I'm convinced it's just Cammy let it go in sector 2. It comes in sector 3, and if he's let it go in sector 2, then it is going to glitch. You know, he's let it go too early. Delta's come up.
Yeah, that sounds realistic to me. He's just gone so slow through sector 2. The game thinks that people haven't caught up, so it's decided the safety car stay out another lap because not everyone's caught up. But obviously, that's not what you'd want. I'm sure Mighty Baguette and Wuban are thanking Cammy right now being on the soft tyres. They want to minimise tyre wear as much as they can so they can get the most out of the tyres. So I'm sure those two won't be complaining, but the hard runners, that could affect them. I know it's only one lap, but that 4 or 5% on the soft tyres can make all the difference.
Yeah, Ben's now online.
Bit late.
VX37 Pro is now on this card.
That the Williams driver
Yeah.
that didn't decide to show up. I'm sure they'll be. Oh, he's typing the Discord. That'll be interesting. I'm sure the admins will deal with that. Probably a quali ban.
But I think it's penalty points for a no-show.
Right.
The safety it's green flags now.
So he's definitely
the
coming
green
in this
flags
time.
are waving.
He's still going 120. He needs to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's 30 because it's not it'll be difficult to keep above 50 as he's gone into the 40s now. I'm assuming it's 30 because going under 50 on the safety car, but he has to slow right down. He's looking to catch him off guard. As he does so, Cammy gets a really good start here in comparison to Nug with half a second already before even crossing the line. I'm sure there'll be some interesting altercations towards the back as it looks to be quite a clean getaway from everyone here. Doesn't look to be any overtakes at all though. As there is a few within 2/10, but doesn't look to be any overtakes here. MKP looks quite close to Mays, looking for the move, but it's quite a difficult way to overtake in Sector 1. There aren't really any overtaking areas apart from Turn 1. But
just a quick one. I think it might have been a bit of an altercation on the restart. Topher and Ghost Angel.
Yellows. Wuban's out. Wuban has retired.
He's out of quali, and now he's out of the race.
He's binned it. He's gone straight on the curb. He's rode the curb too much, I think.
Yeah,
that's another safety car.
That's the third safety car, though.
Wow, they're going to be out of safety cars in not too long. How many do you get for 50%? Is it 5?
4 in a 50.
4.
It's 4 in a 55.
They've only got one left now, so that could affect strategies as well. But Wuban, he'll be really disappointed there because he was on the soft tyres. He was looking to kick on now, being in, I think he was P7. But if I was at the back of the grid now, I'd be looking to pit probably. If I was Ghost and Topher mainly, because they could go on to hards and stick on hards for the rest of the race now.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't lose any top position.
19 laps is very much doable. As Wuban leaves the session, probably in anger.
Yeah, most definitely in anger.
The amount of practice you've got to put in around this track. On this game, they've changed the curbs unexpectedly, if I'm honest. You can't touch them at all, which things like this happen where you slightly touch the car, bottoms out, and you're in the wall. There's nothing you can do about it. Which unfortunately happened to Ruben, who I'm going to guess the other driver on softs. He's pitting, yes he is. He's gone into the pits, hopefully on hard. If he goes on mediums, then he's made a big mistake. Yeah. I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Now looking for him to go in. Looks like the only one pitting, I think.
Yeah, he is, but he's the only one on soft, to be honest. Yeah. He's going on to... yes, he is, right.
Set of hard tyres, is it? Yeah, it's a set of hard tyres, but he's serving the penalty as well, so he can get that out of the way. So he will be last here, but he'll be in a good position, I think, because everyone will still have to pit and there'll still be battles going on. It's just whether there's another safety car. If another safety car comes out in around 4 to 5 laps and everyone can pit and be on fresher tyres, that could be a problem for him. So it's a little bit of a gamble, I think, but he's got a penalty for corner cutting.
He'll get that removed. That was a straight penalty. Remember the old... Oh, I've just watched it back on I've just got the replay up from
on the
the
stream?
stream, and
Do you think?
he's gone over the line.
Yeah, I thought
So
that won't be
he's not
removed
going to be
then.
able to get that removed.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Yeah, he just goes right across the other line. That's obviously you can't do that.
Unfortunate.
But
Oh
unless he
no, that's
can
not
get
going to
any
get
other,
removed.
unless he can get any others removed from earlier's. But a 3-second time penalty to when you're on older tyres, that'll be, because it's all about track position here. As long as you can keep hold of, as well. To be fair, if the cars behind have DRS, it's not much of a competition really. But that 3 seconds will be massive because if he's in a DRS train, 3 seconds he can lose 5-6 positions. But
I mean, there's a few drivers who were out of position. I think MKP and Mays obviously high up, as you kind of should be. Cammy in first. I was not expecting this when I woke up this morning. I mean, I wasn't expecting to be commentating.
no,
either,
neither was
but...
I. I was just a normal day and I've got Nathan in my DMs like everyone's dropped out.
Well, anyway, we've got both the AlphaTauris at the back. Again, was not expecting that. There's a few drivers who have been fast in the past, and they're just coming back. I know Spider Rob, he was fighting for podiums a few seasons ago. He's moved to wheel, and he's just getting the hang of it again. He was convinced he was racing on pad this season, and 2 days ago he made the switch to wheel. So he's not doing too bad. He's
Yeah,
P6,
it's a bit of a headache though for the admins, but I'm sure they got it worked out. Got him here. He's now in P6.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So early on, that's quite a good job from Spider.
The rule did get changed though. If you let an admin know, you get away with it. But if you do it unexpectedly, change assists, change device, that's when you get penalised.
Yeah.
You don't let them know. Which I think, as Spider Rob is an admin himself, I think if he gets penalised for not doing it, then I mean
everyone else will.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
But I think that's right because I think the drivers should have the freedom to change assists if they feel like it, and it's this league is up for the drivers' enjoyment. That's the reason we do it, so everyone can enjoy F1 hard racing, making it as interesting as possible. So if that's what he wants to do, us as a league, I think it's good that we can allow him to do that.
Yeah, going from a group of friends during lockdown to now 10 seasons in, 4 full stacked grids, very competitive, even PSGL, F1, F2. It's weird.
Obviously, I've not been here for very long. I've only been here for 8 months, 7 months. So I haven't been able to experience as much as you have. How long have you been here?
I joined I joined end of 2020. Well,
right.
The game cycle, so mid 2021.
Right.
Like years. So I mean, but yeah, going from a group of friends to now 10 seasons, like I said, 4 grids. The pace is great. I mean, no one's massively dropped off in this race apart from the collisions.
Yeah.
We've been going for 50 minutes now, and we're only on lap 8.
Yeah, I'm sure the safety cars will have something to do with that. Obviously, we've not had many racing laps yet from lots of things. How many? There's been 3 safety cars. That's going to probably 2-3 racing laps so far. But the safety car could be in this lap if
it's going to be late.
Chimp gets on with it.
I think, is he doing this on purpose?
Safety car is in this lap.
Yeah, there we go.
Cam will be leading the way once again.
Be warm.
Only 4 drivers have stopped so far in this race, and it is the bottom 4 who will all be hopefully looking to go to the end. If we have a look at the tyres.
Topher and Ghost Angel one have had to pit for mediums starting on the hard.
They won't be able to go to the end then. They'll be hoping for safety cars later on.
Pit again.
Cam is leaving it late here.
He's doing the opposite of what he did last time. He's going nearly side by side.
Yeah.
As Cammy's now gone, he's got the jump, he's using his ERS, and there's RLS Maze and MKP side by side. Tomo Tip Top trying to join the action, but he's unable to, as further back, again, single file, it's, I think Baguette's gone past Ghost Angel 1, taking the inside line, but, there's a good fight going on there between Maze and MKP. It's a close battle.
Yeah, MKP's got off quite well there. I don't think he got any overtakes, but being able to maintain position. There's another yellow flag. I think it's Duncan. I think he just lost the rear, but I don't think it was anything serious.
Yeah. He did.
He's gone wide again, but
Pancake
will have to be careful here because if he's going slowly, Pancake goes slightly wide as well. That might be a warning.
That should be a warning.
Yeah, most likely. Curly's not far off. He's looking for a move, but he decides not to opt in with a safer option here, as we are, despite the long time we've been racing for, only on lap 9. But as Curly goes side by side here, he just backs off slightly because he doesn't want to get a collision here. So it's still early on in this race. Doesn't want to pit stop any more than he needs to.
As Duncan nearly loses it coming out of that the braking zone, comes out, I could see him spinning up the rear slightly, keeps it straight, but it was very, very close.
Doesn't look to be any side-by-side action going on so far. I think everyone's just trying to settle into the race and get a rhythm, make sure there's less incidents that we've seen so far. But the top 5 have already broken away out of the DRS zone of Spider in the Red Bull in P6. The 1.2 second gap there. He'll be looking to maybe use some of his ERS to keep in that DRS zone as everyone's just setting fastest laps. Oh no, only the top 3 managed it.
Just want to mention, going into the final corner, Pancake managed to overtake Duncan, I think, and now he's been overtaken by Curly, who are not side by side, but it's very, very close. Just on board with Curly, taking a lot of curb in turn 1, which is it's questionable. There's multiple ways to do turn 1. Qualifying, you take it all. Race, it's a bit risky, but I mean, he got it done. So, there's a Warrior Huntsman side losing the rears in section 1, just in the braking zone again. Yeah, it's quite a tight field, as I thought Mays and
Huntsman's gone really wide, lost 2 or 3 positions there. And Pancake and Chimp are side by side here.
Did Pancake hit the wall there?
Pancake's gone really wide.
He's gone off though, yeah.
He's gone so far wide. I'll tell you what, these broadcast camera views are terrible to see what's happening.
Oh, Chimp's got 5 plus. Wait,
Pancake
what?
And I think everyone's just got penalties. Loads of people just got penalties there. I think that's a bit harsh.
That's because Pancake went off.
Yeah, so it made everyone else. Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen a wing fly everywhere.
Where's that?
That was Warrior Huntsman. He's got no front wing now. I just saw a front wing explode.
No front wing at all. Chimp will have to be careful there. MKP and Mays are getting close here. He doesn't opt to go for the move.
Is Chimp going to try and send it, or is he going to sit behind him? I'd personally sit behind him, but...
Baguette and Topher are side by side here, going into the final corner. Topher takes the inside line to protect, but Baguette does not manage to get a good... Topher's gone wide, and it looks like he might be getting overtaken by both. Alpha Tauri's here. Ghost and Topher are side by side going into turn 1. Who can brake later? But no. Ghost decides to not go for the move. I thought he was side by side there. He must be running less downforce, or Topher must have deployed. But it's a close battle there at the top. It's
a good battle here between Pancake and Duncan. I mean, Duncan going slightly wide, but not gaining anything. So yeah, it's a good battle. Only 3 tenths between them, now 4 tenths. But I think down the straights, Pancake catches him a lot and catches him off guard. To be honest, there's a few drivers just
second and third. MKP, sorry to interrupt. MKP and Phantom are going side by side here through sector 2. MKP gets a move done. That's a lovely move there. Through the middle of sector 2, goes side by side. MKP with a really brave move there, trying to get the move done. But he's just outside. No, he's getting into the ERS there, because Cammy has used as much ERS as he can to break away as he's flashing to deploy, which means that he's on less than 10.
Going from moving Cavallis into sector 3 now. He's got it done.
Looks like he got it done,
It was very, very close, because it was on the exit of the braking zone.
And Pancake gets the move done on Duncan as well. But Pancake takes too much curb there, and that was close there. Duncan went into the wall. Yeah, I thought he went into the wall there, but he's got the DRS.
He's out.
Pancake's turned in too early. Pancake's turned in too early, and it's a big collision there. Pancake and Duncan. Pancake tried to turn in and just caught Duncan. That's sent him into the wall. That's really unfortunate there. Not sure who was at fault.
It looked like Duncan because he was looking backwards. He weaved left slightly. Obviously, not expecting it to be turning a bit too much. Duncan's obviously hit Pancake and taken. Who else was it? Sorry,
it was Duncan. Duncan and Pancake.
It was 3, no? Well, either way.
I think it was just the 2. There was someone right behind him, so I'm not 100% on that.
Because there's 3 people who've pit.
Yep. I'm sure a lot of people will be pitting as well, just for fresh tyres here. Looking like, good chunk of the drivers have pit. We've got only only 6 drivers not pitted now, and I'm sure that's because they had passed. Cammy coming through the fight. No, that's still sector 1, isn't it? Yeah. The final corner, the start of sector 2 is very similar to the final corner as you're entering it. From the looks of things.
It does confuse me. Just a few things to point out under safety car. This is the final safety car they have. This is the fourth because they had one VSC, and this is the third safety car that Cam is leading.
Which
and I think, I'm going to confirm, but the top four haven't pit,
top
and they're on
five.
mediums. Well, the top four are on mediums.
Yeah, on mediums, yeah.
None of them have pit.
Which means they'll all be in this lap, I'm assuming.
I don't think they'll be in. I think they'll wait until the softs at about lap 20, but it's going to be high tyre wear, and very high.
I think fresh mediums, I think the pit window was lap 12 anyway, so unless they go to hard tyres, they could go to hards to the end.
I mean, it's risky because there's no more safety cars, so I think they've bottled this one already.
I think I'd be boxing for hards if I were the top four.
Yeah,
and just push them to the end
at this
on
point
hards.
I'd box.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, I'm not saying anything.
Well, I'm sure they won't be listening or concentrating on it.
Oh, I think he is. He is pitting.
There was a bit of confusion there, but they all look to be pitting. I'm assuming for hard tyres. I don't think they'll be able to stretch softs. All the top five pitting. A lot of people pitting here, but AFL staying out on his 12 lap hards. Is he going to the end on those? He can't be, I don't think.
He can't.
Well, did he box lap one?
He's not. No, he's not pit yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
onto softs.
So,
at the back, all of them onto softs. That's 12. Well, probably 11 laps on the softs. That's going to be a big stint for soft tyres. They'll probably be near puncture territory by the end, I think.
I think they're expecting another safety car, but secretly you ain't having another.
Yeah, there's no chance of them they've used them all, but.
Yeah, Tomo tipped off an AFL hasn't hit. Tomo's on medium, which is even more confusing. He's definitely waiting for the soft, but it does mean if he wants to win this race, he's going to have to fly past everyone else and just hope that there's a collision or some way to gain an advantage on the drivers behind. Because Curly's P3 and he's pit, so he's made him P1 at this point.
Yep. But the top two are the only two not to have stopped now, apart from those that have retired. So AFL and Tip Top, I'm afraid they might have got this wrong on the strategy. I think I'd have been boxing under this safety car because it's essentially a free pit stop. You lose about half as much as time as you would if you boxed under a green flag running. So it's going to be tough for them to get back into this race with there being no safety cars. They're going to be a good 20 seconds behind with only probably 3 or 4 laps fresher tyres, which isn't enough to gain that deficit of time.
It's still really baffling me the fact that MKP, Nug, Cammy, and Wee Rabbi have all picked for soft.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an almighty stretch, that, I think, but I think I was doing some practice and I think I did 12 on an opening stint and they were on like 70-75%, so it's doable, especially on the lower fuel, I think, but they'll be pushing so hard at the end we could see an incident because obviously they'll be on such high percentage on the tyres. If they're going to be side by side towards the end, they're going to be wanting to get through this pack as quickly as possible because the top 5 will be holding them up being on the older tyres. But as safety car's in now, Tip Top will be leading the cars through to restart this race on the green flag run-ins. Are red flags on this season?
No, I think they're not. I will double check while we get underway. I'll let you take that.
Thank you. So they're leaving it as late as possible here in the Alpine Tip Top. Are they available?
Just before that, the red flags are enabled.
Oh wow, that's a change from last season. As we dive into turn 1 now, it doesn't look to be anyone to be side by side. I'll get the.
There is the 3 wide.
Where's this?
Forget Topher and Mays with 3 wide going into turn 1. There's even more further back.
Yep, I've got that on. Off. And there's so many overtakes. I think this AFL's round. AFL's round. That's from the lead of the race. Warrior Husband's up into P7. There's so many. There's an absolute car park going through turn 4.
There's no more safety car, so if you've got damage, which I'm going to check for now, AFL's out of this race. Theoretically, there's no more safety cars. Yeah, because
he's not catching, especially if he has damage. Warrior Huntsman looking to get a warning there, probably. But after the carnage, it seems to have calmed down slightly. No one side by side. There is Cammy looking to get through on Duncan, who's on the medium tyres. He'll be wanting to get through as quickly as possible, being on the softer tyre. Looking for the more narrow exit to try gain extra traction on the exit. He doesn't like Warrior Huntsman looking to get through on Cavolis, but he's unable to. Duncan gets a move on TRL Spider. So does Cammy. Looks like Spider probably went wide there. Phantom Nug also side by side with Spider. Spider's lost 3 positions in a matter of 3 corners there. He'll be gutted with that, but it's still a long race. He'll have more pace towards the end, being on the medium tyres.
Yeah, this race, as we said before, anything can happen, you know. We've seen Pancake, the pole sitter, Victor Means out as well, Ruben, unfortunately, hitting the curbs, which obviously wasn't expected, but now we can see Phantom not going for a move on Wee Cammy into the final corner. Is there going to be a collision? I hope not. I know they've kept it clean. Wee Cammy
There was
is ahead of
contact.
Phantom
I think MKP might have had damage. I saw someone. I saw some carbon fibre in the air. Not sure whose it was, but it looked to be. I can't tell.
In the pits.
As MKP's
in the pits.
Spider, yeah. Did he get a penalty for that as well?
Yeah, he got a 5-second penalty for the entry and also had to pit for a new wing, which has ruined his race.
Oh, Wee Rabbi's hit the wall on turn 4, turned in too early. That's him out of the race, but there won't be another safety car. But Wee Rabbi has turned in way too early there and just slapped his front left off there. I'm sure everyone's done that in time trial once or twice, but to do it in a race, that's completely terminal, and that's going to be him out of this race. But no safety cars. We said Cammy gets a move done on Topher, it's straight back in on it. Cammy and MKP are getting through this pack incredibly quickly here. They'll be favourites to win this race, I'm sure. It's just whether their tyres can hold on to the end, as there looks to be a little battle going on between Chimp and the AlphaTauri of Ghost Angel. Chimp just rides the curb a little too much there, making him not able to get the maximum traction he could. Just looking through, Ghost Angel looked to be. Oh, he's gone for a move down the inside. That was a silly move there from Ghost Angel. And
Duncan's out. Duncan's out.
Ghost Angel.
One, sorry.
Yep, Ghost Angel. He went for a move down the inside at a corner from over 2/10 back, and he's just hit. He's realised that he shouldn't have gone for the move, and by it's too late. By the time he's realised.
Sweet, safety car out.
See, I thought it was 5.
Yeah, but and Spider
got drive-through penalty. That's his race over because he can't serve it under the safety car. Back.
Was that only a legal pit entry from Tomo?
I did not see.
Topher, sorry. Was it? Yeah, Topher.
Didn't see Topher, to be honest. I think everyone's serving penalties as well and changing wings. There's so much happening in the pits here, but everyone will be on to fresh sets of softs here, I'm reckoning. Apart from Baguette, who's not, I think he passed too late to be able to do it. But Baguette will be in this lap along with probably a lot of the drivers. But AFL, his race is well back on here. Well and truly, he'll be back with the pack with Spider. He'll have to get rid of Spider as quickly as he can, obviously, because Spider will be having to serve that drive-through penalty after the safety cars come in, which will lose him a good 10-15 seconds, which will be his race effectively over with 10 laps to go here in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which, with what we're guessing now, is the final safety car. I'm assuming there's no more than 5.
I don't think there can be any more, but as we were saying in class, I'm not sure if I have my voice shared at this point, but anything can happen at this track. You know, we've seen 5 DNFs now. 2 have been related. Well, one's definitely related to the curbs. One's just, it's such a difficult track to get the hang of. You'll make your setup. It'll feel good at one spot, and then, as we've probably seen in this race at some point, the setup clearly hasn't worked in another corner, and it's taken a driver out.
Yeah, it's completely all about consistency, and it just managing to get the string your laps together, lap after lap after lap, just getting the consistency, making sure that you're just maintaining that consistency in order to, because after all, consistency is what's going to win your races and championships. There's no good being top of the charts this one week and then not the next week. You have to remain consistent, which a stable setup at a track like this will give you that. But it's whether you want to balance the setup with stability and pace. You have to get that perfect window.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one with strategy around here. We've seen drivers not pitting, and one that did pit, very surprisingly, who's also got a 3-second penalty, which shouldn't be removable if it was clear, might be getting first. He's on that apple hard, but they'll get him to the end, and if it gets him to the end in one piece, it's points.
Yeah,
it could even be a win.
Yeah, I called that earlier when he boxed under. Was it under the first safety car, or the second safety car, where he boxed for the hard tyres? But obviously, if he's on those more worn tyres, and with combined with the 3-second penalty, there could be 5 or 6 drivers sat behind within that gap, because old hards aren't your friend, realistically. being on the old hards, that's going to be probably up to a second and a half deficit on the fresh softs. So, despite him having track position, that 3-second penalty will come back to haunt him, I think, with still upwards of 7-8 laps to go, probably of green flag racing. Matey Baguette will have to have an almighty final stint to keep hold of the top 5, 6, 7 positions, being on those tyres combined with the penalty.
I do hope, for Rob's sake, that he realises that you cannot serve a drive-through on the safety car. Because he's just been in the pit lane, and he's still got his drive-through, so I'm sure he's tried to go in to serve it.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that on that one.
I mean, he didn't have damage from what I recall. He pit when it came out and he pit again, presumably to remove it, and I don't think he's realised that, you know, you can't, so his race is theoretically
It'll still
over.
say on the top left on the pace charts that he'll have a drive-through, so hopefully he notices and realises if he hasn't already, unless it was a tactical stop. I didn't see what tyres he was on before. If we look at stops, he's had 3 stops, so I don't see why he would feel the need to have 3 stops.
I'm going to check if it wasn't a wing damage change, then he's made a mistake. Yeah, it wasn't. He's done it by accident. He must have thought to get away with it.
Unless his plan is to slow right down. Is that allowed?
No, that's illegal.
I assume so.
You've got to be, if you've got the pace
lap
to
after.
catch up, you can't. Yeah, so if he pits this, safety car's in this lap.
If you look at second and third, if you look at Cavolis and Warrior Huntsman gaining 12 and 13 positions, that's an almighty race if they can hold on to that, along with Chimp starting from last in P7. These are some almighty races from some of these boys.
I know
putting on a show for us to commentate on.
Well, as around the final corner now, just to interrupt you, sorry. As green flags are being waved, not going yet. As he's still not gone, and he's gone now. And he's jumped Cavolis, and he's jumped quite a few drivers far behind as well. I mean, Spider's in the pits. He's trying to serve it. He can't. He can't serve it. Bob, I'm so sorry, mate. Oh, there's a collision. Duncan and RLS Mays, the driver, they both got wing damage. But RLS Mays he was in the top 2 at one point, and now he's 13th. He's got to pit. It's not working out for him. There's more yellow flags being
Warrior
waved.
Huntsman, I was on board with it when it happened. Warrior Huntsman made a mistake, and he was just sat waiting for all the cars to go by, because obviously he can't rejoin unsafely, so he just, the most painful wait in the world, just waiting for all of the cars to go by for him to just rejoin in last position. Warrior Huntsman was looking so promising there, but top 12 is still points, so he still has a chance to salvage something out of this race.
Well, yeah, you say that, and Mighty Baguette, talking about salvaging races, he's on 11. He's got a 5-lap difference between his tyres to Cavolis, but he's pulled 1.1 seconds out in a lap.
That's really impressive there for Mighty Baguette. I'm sure that's combined with the safety car restart. Sorry,
he's got
go on.
3 seconds between him and P2, so to be pulling 1.2 on the first lap it's mega. Under a second now, but through the corners it'll obviously change. Down the straight he seems to have a higher top speed. It's only a few, but it can mean anything. It's MKP goes down the inside. Wee Cammy goes down the inside of Phantom Nug, I believe. I wasn't sure if I saw that correctly. But yeah, a few good fights potentially forming and brewing into turn 1. As
we've got Cavolis and MKP looking. I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think he backed off a little bit because he just wants to stay behind, nurse his tyres. He's left tyre in then.
Cammy, no.
What's happened?
He tried overtaking on the right going into turn 1, and he's tapped the wall, but I don't think he's got damage.
He doesn't look. No, he doesn't have damage.
Very close.
He does not have damage.
You know what this game's like. You can't see it, but you could have slight damage, and it can around a track like this, it can really mess you up. As MKP, 2/10 behind Mighty Baguette. At this point last lap, he was a second ahead.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for a move as quickly as he can here for the lead of this race, because he'll want to create a buffer between him and Cavolis, who's looking pretty quick as well himself. But Cammy does get an overtake on Cavolis. I didn't catch that on, but I want to stay on board here with the lead. I want to stay on board here with the lead too, because I'm sure MKP will be sizing up a move as soon as he can. But through this section of sector 2, he'll be wanting to get the move done before if he's going to do it. But he's going to go side by side through here. But nope. He's still. I think if I was him, I'd just be sitting behind here and getting him into the final corner on exit or on entrance if he gets to good exit. He gets a pretty good exit there because he'll have more traction on those soft tyres compared to the hards. They're going side by side here. I'll ride on board with the cars behind to have a good angle. As they go side by side, Matty Baguette, he backs off there just to make sure that he keeps his car intact, because he doesn't want to be now having to make a pit stop, because that will effectively ruin his race. Being with 6 laps to go, a pit stop would be the worst thing for him right now.
I mean, I just want to say, Chimp, 11 positions, he's still up and he's still fighting. No one's out of contention for the win here, you know. All the way down to P11. Mays got the fastest lap, is P11. And he's, you know, any one of them could win it. There's no massive gap. There's one starting to form now with AFL, but nothing to say that he can't catch back up, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Tyre differences, tyre age might be get on his 13 lap up hard, and he's still, you know, quite far ahead as Phantom Nug and Tomo Tip Top get ahead of Cavalis, so does Curly. I wonder what's happened to him there if he's getting overtaken 3 or 4 times in the same corner. He's not got damage, but he's side by side with Curly. That was very close to contact, but luckily none. As just looking back, MKP, 1.5 seconds gap. I know last time I said this, he lost it, but MKP, he's on one of the freshest tyres, you know, in the top, in the top 5, top 6. But fair play.
Yeah. Oh, there's yellow flags. Duncan's out of the race. I'm guessing. I didn't get. Did you catch on what happened there?
He's got on the curb.
Same as I think it was Wuban who did that as well.
Huntsman. Yeah, he was fighting the Aston Martin, and he's got on the curb, obviously side by side, and you know, that's unfortunately what happens. Huntsman gets the fastest sector 1, even though he went wide after the collision. If he sets this, then there might be a few issues, and it might need to be investigated by the stewards after the race. But yeah, it's 3 wide into turn 1. Tomo Tip Top, Cammy, and Mighty Baguette.
I just missed that, I think.
Still got that side by side. Mighty Baguette, it's just a that's very close, Cammy.
Baguette could have left him more. Mighty Baguette could have left him more space, I think, there than Cammy, but he's got the move done in the end. But if you look at the gap now between first and second, that's 1.7 seconds. As Spider sets the fastest lap, I'm guessing he's got a bit of clear air just to pump in some laps. He's currently in the points, so that will be 2 points for him, including the fastest lap, I think, if there's been no changes.
Top 12 points, isn't it?
Top 12 points. He'll be getting 2 because he's 12th and with the fastest lap.
Ah, yes. Sorry about that.
It's alright.
But yeah, there's a few drivers very close together. Chimp and Cavalis are very, very close, fighting for P7, of course. Then you've got Phantom Nug, 2 tenths behind Mighty Baguette, who's losing a lot of time on those 14 lap old hards. He's hoping for a safety car to save him, but you know, you can't. It's too late.
The 2 Ferraris seems to be getting quite racy there, as Curly does eventually opt to back out. I'm sure he doesn't want to have a collision with his teammate on the first race of the season. You want to keep a healthy relationship with your teammate throughout the season, as obviously having a good relationship with your teammate means you can help each other out as the season goes on. But he decides to opt out there from going for a move to prevent any problems there with the collision. But Chimp and Cavalis are quite close together. Is Chimp going to look for a move? He's not. As Phantom Mug gets past Mighty Baguette, who's just falling now, Baguette. That's a shame for him. Those hard tyres just aren't working as he's wanting them to. But those soft runners are always going to have the pace on. As Phantom Mug gets a move done straight away on Cammy, with the DRS being way too powerful for Cammy to even put a defence up. Don't know if he doesn't have much ERS to spare. None of them do really. All of them have used a lot of their DRS. As Tip Top in the Alpine, Tomo Tip Top is gaining a little bit on MKP. Can he make a race out of this? If he can get into the DRS, that makes it interesting.
I'm just looking at the onboards in Cavalis. I'm not sure if it's a setup issue. As Mighty Baguette gets a 3-second penalty. The first track limits warning of this race. It's
looking to go 3 wide here. Sorry to interrupt. Cavelli's just backs out, but Mighty Baguette goes back down the inside to keep the position, but he's got the 6-second penalty, so that'll put him down to probably P11. But Curly's looking to fight back, so he needs to get past as quickly as he can if he wants anything more than P5 in this race, because these hard tyres are going to be not working compared to Curly's 6-lap-old softs.
Oh, there's a crash!
Yellows.
AFL off Mays.
I didn't see what happened. Did you see what happened? I'm waiting.
The exact same as what happened to Wee Rabia. Was it Duncan? Sorry. Obviously just at a different spot. Just drive Rera. One's obviously turning a bit too much. Not expecting the other there, and a collision's happened. But again, no safety car, so everyone is now in the points. If you finish the race, you're got
in the points. Cavalis and Curly. Cavalis, I thought he was going to go for a move there, but he decides to lift off slightly early as Baguette goes wide, and there's a tiny bit of contact as Baguette loses another 2 positions. But there's no DRS for Curly here, so Cavolis will be looking to get a move down the inside. He's got ERS deployed. He's going to look for a move now. He's going to have it done before the corner even happens. Cavolis now moves into P5 on those medium tyres. They'll be probably working more than the softs are now, despite being a couple of laps older. Those medium tyres will last longer. As Spider gets a move done on Mays into P10, that's a brilliant recovery from Spider after having that drive-through penalty.
Yeah, as I was saying before the collision, Cavolis and Chimp were fighting side by side. I'm not sure if it's a setup issue, any damage that we obviously can't see, but it just slower through the corner exits. Topher's out. I don't know.
Not sure where he's done it, but Topher is out of this race. I have no idea where it's happened. It's on. I don't.
Nick Schumacher.
Yeah, he's tried to, I'm guessing he's tried to catch it and he's overcorrected and just gone into the barriers.
Yeah.
No, down to 11 drivers. 8 drivers now is that retired on 9?
Yeah, that is
8 drivers.
Yeah, just a few things. Rabbi in the Discord, he watched his footage, just a word from him, and he tries to counter steer on the curb, but obviously the curb being the curb, there's nothing he can do, and he got pulled back into the wall. Looks
Cavolis and Curly still battling out here. Curly goes down the inside, has the inside line, he'll be able to get better traction out here, but Cavolis might have stolen DRS as well. No, he has not, so Curly will have DRS going into turn 1. He'll probably get this move done. He's got both drivers. No, Cavolis is not deploying ERS. He's playing the long game here. He's got another lap to go. Another 2 laps left of this race. If we look towards the front, Tip Top has gained so much on MKP and he's now in the DRS, so that could be an interesting finish here as that DRS is so powerful on this track with the 3 zones, I think it is.
Yeah, they've moved the one from last game.
Yeah, it's 3 DRS.
No, they moved one from 2021 and they've moved it from Sector 1, Sector 2 to Sector 3, I believe.
Well, I'm going to keep on board with the top 2 for the rest of this race now because Matty Baguette isn't going to be looking to get moves on. He's just wanting to consolidate. It's
a good battle for him, but I think at this point in the race, staying behind until the very last chance for Tomo Tip Top. He's got no ERS. Neither of them do. Tomo Tip Top on just 6%, MKP on 14. If I was Tomo Tip Top, I'd stop sitting his DRS. Sit behind him until this point next lap. Yeah.
He's still deploying. He wants to get the move done now. He wants this. He wants to be in the lead on the final lap. He's not going to get DRS. He's going to go for the move around the outside. He's using all of his ERS. As we see, MKP, who isn't deploying now, has more ERS, and he's going to have the DRS, I think. Yep.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to... Both drivers, but Tomo's still using the ERS. He's out of ERS now. Where MKP still got 15%. I think MKP, despite being in second place, still, as Tomo goes wide, MKP's going to be the favourite. He's going to get better traction out of exit, but he's not going to go for it here. He opts to go with a safer option and wait for the DRS. But it's whether... Oh, Tomo hits the wall. He might have wing damage. MKP's going to go around the outside, but he doesn't.
If I was MKP at this point in the race, I know there's only, 3/4 of a lap left, but if I was MKP, I'd sit behind him, try not to lose too much time, because now he's got nearly 30% compared to Tomo's 5. Sit behind him until the DRS point coming up now into the braking point. Sit behind him, and then, get in with DRS in the first point, and then use DRS on the second to stay ahead through while Tomo's got the DRS. It's going to be a good fight on the final lap, though.
Yeah, with all the commotion, with Phantom Nug's just slowly been breaking down the time, and he's right in this race now. He can still win this race with a 3/10 gap to P2. That DRS will play such a big factor here in the final quarter of this final lap, as Phantom Nug gets a really good exit there. As I think MKP is going to get the move done quite early, which means he's not going to have DRS. Phantom Nug still has a chance to win this race. He's going to have DRS on both straights. MKP's looking to get the move done before the corner happens. And Phantom Nug's going to go around the outside. No, he's going to wait for the final corner. And there's contact! There's contact with Tip Top, and it's absolute carnage. As Tip Top's going to win the race, it looks like. Tomo's going to win this. Tomo is going to win the race, as is he. 400ths of a second as Tomo wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Tier 4. There's a 2/10 gap between first and third, but I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that.
Yeah, just looking at Tomo's onboard, I'm 99% sure that if he gets penalised, it's going to be 5 seconds, because it looked like he was trying to get that win back. and caused a collision. Phantom Nugget, if he took a different line, he could have won that. I mean, we'll get him into the party now. I'm going to ask obviously first, so I'll let you blabber on for a few minutes.
Yeah, so it depends. On track, Tomo gets the win in the Alpine for the first race here in Saudi Arabia, with MKP in P2 and Phantom Nugget in P3, with the gap being just 2/10 between the top three. But obviously, the stewards will have a big look at that. I'm sure there'll be a couple of contradicting opinions between the stewards, as that looked like quite a close incident. As I think Tip Top was on the inside as MKP was looking to get a move around the outside, and there was contact. I think MKP turned in quite early, and Tomo was right on the curb on the inside line, so I'm not sure he could have gone anywhere else. But they could both be at fault. So I've seen that happen before, where both first and second drivers are at fault, and then P3 just comes in and swoops it off track after the stewards have had a look. But yeah, we'll try get these drivers in. If you could add them to the party, Harry.
Yeah, I am. When they join, I think we'll start with,
Start at P3.
Yeah.
Would you like to do the honours of asking the questions, or would you like me to?
Do a mix. Up to you.
Yeah, you can start if you want. I'm feeling generous.
Thanks. It's the only time you're ever generous to me, but
yeah.
We move. Just looking at the results, Tomo Tip Top, obviously, with his half a 10 gap between the top two. I mean, this could all change. Tomo Tip Top could lose a podium at this point, depending on if he gets penalised for that. It could be a driver error. It could just be a driver. Like I said, just driver error. There's nothing else to say. I don't think he's done it intentionally. I don't think there's any way to actually take someone out like that intentionally. But yeah, as we're joined by Phantom Nug, still waiting on MKP and Tomo Tip Top. As Cammy's decided to put in the Discord that he's been DRS checking in Curly. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that's entirely legal, but we move. So yeah, we're joined by Phantom Nug. I'm not sure. I think Tomo's not, but MKP, I hope he does. Not spoke to him for a while, and just looking at the change that he's made. Gone from being one of the slower and now being a potential race winner. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, it was obviously such a close end there. I'm sure all three drivers will have their adrenaline spiking, especially with the collision at the final corner. I'm sure there'll be some interesting words in the paddock, but it seems pretty civilised so far, which you can't say the same for Tier 1 and Tier 2, which it often gets quite heated. Tier 4 maybe a little bit more friendly compared to what we've seen in the past. But hopefully we can get all three drivers in for an interview. Don't think Tomo's going to be here.
Yeah, Tomo's not. Phantom Nug is in the party if you want to start with him while we wait for MKP.
Yeah, I can get it started. A well managed race there, Phantom. Just talk us through what your thoughts were throughout the race.
Yeah, thanks, lads. Close race. Probably one of the closest endings I've had racing. Happy with a podium to start off. It was very close, that last corner. If I had maybe gone around the outside, things that could have been different. We'll have to see how it works out with the stewards. But yeah, missed a safety car. Was going to go into the pits on one of the second to last maybe safety car. Was just by the line. And had to kind of claw my way back from there. But overall, with the amount of safety cars and collisions, I didn't have many problems there. So, I'm happy enough with that.
It's really impressive you managed to keep your composure with all the commotion that was going around you. Five safety cars in total it was, 1 VSC and 4 full course. With 5-6 laps to go, I saw the gap was quite a lot to the leaders after, I think it was Matty McGett on the hard tyres just held everyone up. Did you think you'd still be fighting for the win at the end, or did you think you were trying to consolidate the podium?
I was trying to look maybe top 5. My whole kind of goal was maybe top 6 to see. I was kind of going into the season blind because I'm not familiar with a lot of the drivers. And to start, P3 got off to a good start. And then when we were coming up, the two guys in front of me, they were on softs as well as me. And then with safety cars and a few bits of luck my way. And then even at that, with a lap or two to go, I was still 2 seconds off, I was starting to lose Tomo, and then because of the fighting at the top, that kind of brought them back to me, and yeah, I was very happy with that race altogether.
You got any questions, Harry?
I've got one, and I was going to ask everyone, but unfortunately MKP and Tom aren't going to join. Were you expecting them results to be like that? There's obviously a few drivers that either didn't show up or couldn't race. But just from looking at everyone's pace in previous seasons, did you expect obviously to be fighting for the podium against potentially one
Yeah,
of the
like
best?
there was I'm not familiar with all of them, but there was with that form put out that there was the potential, the favourite to win and the runner up, and he didn't start. So it was kind of a blessing for me, because obviously that might have been a position down. You never know what happens on the race, but there are a lot of quick guys in this league, in this tier. Again, because Jeddah is such a narrow street circuit, it can be more refined. Like, I find it to be one of my better tracks. So it's on a different track, on a more open track, it can be anybody's really. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I speak on behalf of me and Harry. A huge congratulations on your podium. Unfortunately, that's the only interview we're going to get to because the other two have gone off. But from both me and Harry, thanks for tuning in. I'm sure we'll see you all on Thursday for tier 2 and 1. Sorry, there's only 4 tiers now, isn't there? And then for next Monday, back for tier 4 and tier 3 at Hungary. But thanks everyone for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.